We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We're deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. Okay, you know the sound. It means we're back on the air, and we are now in our segment called Restaurant Reality. So today has been a really interesting show. We have been talking with people who serve on the national and Atlanta level of the Women's Franchise Network, the International Franchise Association program, Women in Franchising. And you know what really struck me about today's show, Eric, and I think this is true, whether it's the Women in Franchising component of the IFA or anything related to franchising, it is a very giving industry. You can walk up to any CEO at any level at a national, International Franchise Association conference and just say, hey, you know, I'm starting out in franchising. I need some help with this or that. And you will find a mentor in the halls of a massive meeting. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's a great place. You know, again, we talk about that in many of our shows, you know, to get connected. Networking is important. Get out of your walls, and the IFA is, you know, it's a great place, and the diversity there is phenomenal. I mean, I remember Robin working in different industries, and before, you know, being a restaurant broker, and you know, I would go along with her at some of the convention, and it'd be, you know, 99.9% male and very few ladies. And you go to the IFA, you'll see all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life, from, you know, all over the world, from different religions, different background. I mean, the diversity is it is a very welcoming, just not you want to go walk to people, but it's welcoming to everybody. I mean, it is really still a strong foundation of the American dream.
And I think that is one piece, that whether you own a single unit and your dream is to go to 15, or whether you own 3 now and you're trying to figure out whether you're going to take that leap and go to 10, it is critical to kind of get outside yourself, begin to network in the industry, talk with other people. They've been there and they've done that. And I really appreciated something that Lauren said today, which is that she really sits a client down for a couple of days and asks them the tough questions. And sometimes that's all you need. It's not that you don't know the path within your own heart. It's a matter of whether you're able to answer the questions honestly. Where do I want to be in 3 years? Is this then the right path for me? Is it to franchise? Is it to license? Is it to simply continue to do what I'm doing as a company-owned business? There are a lot of paths to get to the same place, and which is the best and most suited to your skill set. And I also really appreciated today that Debbie said from Nothing Bundt Cakes, which is a very, very well-respected and very large franchise group at this time, started in 2006, and she said, we made every mistake in the book. But she wasn't afraid to go out and find the right partner and get the right help, and the business boomed after that.
Well, they talk about, you know, don't be afraid to raise your hand, ask questions, you know, bring people to give you a different point of view, you know, and also mentoring. I mean, at some point when you are successful, if you're out there, you know, you say, well, you know, I made it, I'm doing really well, you should become a mentor. I mean, you have to give back to your industry. You know, if franchising gives back all the time. But even if you're independent, I mean, you go see somebody maybe, you know, a few miles down the road at a startup and help them out, give back. It will come back to you. And also, you know, it's very important to help. I mean, this industry, the food industry in general, it's a very giving industry. So you need to keep going and then either you're a mentor or you become a mentor, or a mentee. But I think, if you're young, go see some of the big guys. Don't be afraid to go to, if you're in Atlanta, we talk about Atlanta, go to Buckhead Life and go see Panos and say, walk in his office. So, sir, I'm young in this business. I'd like to know from you and see what happens. The worst case scenario, they're going to say no. But then you go to the next person. You go to Bob Amick at Concentrics. Go down the road, find people to help you navigating your way through and then expedite your way to success.
Well, and I think we have talked about, what's it called in French, the stage or the internship that you do? Stage. Okay, you do that within a group. Now, that's on one side of the business, but go and approach someone, as Eric said, about interning on the business side of the business, because the largest failure that we see as restaurant brokers every single day, why do people fail? It's not the food, it's not the service, it's their basic business understanding, it's their understanding of how to run a business, how to not only create great food, but keep that within the cost components that you need to in order to be profitable. It's not putting everything you have into a space, it's finding a space so that those fixed costs can live within a profitability measure, 8 to 10% occupancy all in, so that you're not, trying to figure out where that next dollar is going to come from and not overbuilding. So there are, there obviously there are books and there's web places that you can go. WeSellRestaurants.com. We have tons and tons of articles, but just, give somebody in the industry that you respect and trust a call and say, hey, will you talk to me? When you say to someone, will you help me? Those words, who says no to that? Can you help me? I mean, no matter how busy you are, people are just, as a species, we're just very giving and caring. And when someone says, I need help, typically we all turn around and help.
Absolutely. And, nothing that resonated with me today is, we talk about diversity, and it brings more perspective, a better understanding. And Clarissa even said, hey, it tells us insight how to market to different people to actually increase sales. Who does not want that? Who need that? I've learned today, we talk about women in franchising, but, women empathize more. They're more they collaborate more together. If you have a restaurant, you have a pretty large kitchen, could you use more collaboration in your kitchen? I'm sure you can. So why not get also looking at your management team, and maybe if you're ready to make changes or you have opportunities to consider somebody with a different background maybe that you typically would look at, to bring a different perspective and hopefully reach the next level and greater success by taking that diversity and putting it into implementing it and resulting to greater success.
But I will tell you, it is hard, because the piece that makes you great as an entrepreneur is that spirit within yourself where you say, I've got an idea, now I'm going to do this. And that all starts within yourself. So you're kind of fighting two sides of yourself, because on the one hand, when you say, I need help, that they're fearful of giving up control, losing your own control over the situation, over the idea. And so it's very difficult many times to actually face that challenge and say, yeah, in order to bust through and get to the next level, the reality is I have to say, Uncle, I need help to go up that mountain to the next space. But once you do it, it just takes you, atmospherically above where you started.
Yeah, and Debbie said it right today as well. She said, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a Martian, I don't care where you are, who you are. You're learning through hard work. It is hard work, no matter who you are, to achieve to the top. Everybody has to put really hard work. She said, hey, I learned that at a young age from my grandfather, and I decided to put hard work in, at a younger time so I can get a better success in the future. Well, maybe you kind of coast along now, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to work hard. It is my time. So be prepared. It's not just having a mentor and somebody's going to open the doors for you. You're still going to have to do the work, and it's a very hard work. So please keep that in mind. But hard work will get you there, and I think be open. If you're an owner, or if you are a franchisor right now, or a franchisee, you're looking at things, you start looking at diversity. I think it will pay off for you and get you some, and becoming helps you become more of a leader. We heard that a lot today, and working on your business versus being a working owner that works in the business every day.
I think that if you look at the trajectory of most businesses, they're not that straight, smooth line that goes up and to the right. It's more of a jump up, and then you hit a plateau. You're on a step, so you got to do something to break through, and then you jump up again, and then you come back to that plateau. And it's really that knowledge of when you get to that plateau and saying, okay, do I have the courage? Do I have the resources? Do I have the knowledge? Do I have the experience? Do I have the help to get to the next level.
And if you're a woman and you're ready to get into franchising, come to WeSellRestaurants.com, look at our listings, call Robin or even call me. I am part of Women in Franchising. I'm happy to do that, and we will help you.
And not only that, we offer a very successful franchise. Our franchisees earned on average in their first year $132,400 in a service plan. So very inexpensive to get into, and a lot of support and collaboration and training along the way. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the Restaurant Brokers. Learn more about us on WeSellRestaurants.com.